Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Seoul American High School graduating class of 2014. Please rise for the presentation of colors and the playing of the national anthems. Please be seated. We will now have the welcome from David Park, Vice President, and John Jin, Treasurer.
To Lieutenant General Bernard S. Champeau, 8th Army Commanding General, United Nations Command, Combined Forces Command, United States Forces Korea Chief of Staff and spouse, Mrs. Mary Susan Champeau. Brigadier General Chris R. Gentry, 8th Army Deputy Commanding General, Colonel Michael Masley, USAG Yongsan Garrison Commander, and spouse, Mrs. Karen Masley. 2. Dr. Irby Miller, Superintendent of DoDEA Korea, and spouse, Mrs. Sylvia Miller. Dr. Judith J. Allen, Assistant Superintendent, DoDEA Korea. Dr. Evelyn Ellis, Education Operations Manager, and spouse, Mr. Sam Christie. Ms. Kathleen Rice, Principal of Seoul American High School. Mrs. Linda Edwards, Assistant Principal of Seoul American High School, and spouse, Mr. Bill Edwards. Faculty and staff, distinguished guests, friends, and family. Good morning, and thank you all for coming here today. On behalf of the class of 2014, I would like to welcome all of you here today to the 54th annual Seoul American High School graduation.
예, 신사숙녀 여러분, 좋은 아침입니다.
I wish to extend a warm welcome to the friends and families that have traveled long distances to come see us graduate.
멀리서 오신 가족과 친구분들, 서울 미국인 학교 졸업식에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
As you know, the seniors have worked through 4 years of high school to finally graduate, and it is a pleasure to have all the guests here with us to celebrate this achievement.
4년 동안 공부한 후 드디어 학교를 마치게 되는데요. 이 특별한 시간을 함께 할 수 있어서 함께 해주셔서 감사합니다.
I wish the guests a very fruitful time, and with that, I would like to announce the start of the graduation for the Seoul American High School class of 2014.
예, 모두 유익하고 좋은 시간 되시길 바라고 이제 시작하겠습니다.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, could we please welcome Colonel Michael Masley, USAG Yongsan Garrison Commander, to the podium for opening remarks.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I was talking to General Champeau on the way up this morning, and Ms. Maxwell, I got to tell you that I made some edits to the proposed comments because the 4 paragraphs that you gave me talking about being a great mother for your son Ian just are not quite appropriate from me. However, I do think that those comments from you to him after the ceremony are very appropriate. Ian, I don't know where you are back there, but your mom loves you, that's for sure. General Champeau, other distinguished guests, Seoul American Middle School faculty, parents, visitors, and other members of the community, and most importantly, congratulations to the graduates. Thank you all for being here today to recognize the graduating class of 2014. With the diploma that you have earned, and we use the word earned today, you've displayed your intellectual strength. If you took part in basketball, football, swimming, or other sports, you exercised your physical strength. Each of you displayed your moral strength in the decisions that you've made the past few years. Together, these strengths define who you are. Today, you celebrate your strengths, your ability to stick to your goal, and you have placed yourself in a situation where you can become much more successful, much more productive, and stronger individuals. I may not be relating to all of you with this one point, but I suspect there are some who question why your parents decided on Seoul American High School. Why Korea? Why do you have to move again? Why do you have to go and take algebra? Why here? Why now? And why you? In 1985, I graduated from the Valley Forge Military Academy. I attended Valley Forge, and I'm a better person because of Valley Forge. There were days when I asked, why Valley Forge? Why physics? And why am I shining the back of a piece of brass that is inside my hat that no one else will see other than the individual that's inspecting me tomorrow morning and myself? 29 years later, I can see the answers to those questions. And in one word, Valley Forge Military Academy made me stronger. Today, I can tell you that the experience, that except for one experience, and that was asking Karen McTish to marry me, my decision to attend Valley Forge and graduate was the best decision I ever made. So it may not be today, but at some time you'll reflect back on your Seoul American High School experience and you will say you're stronger, you're a better person because of your time at Seoul American High School. The best way to predict the future is to create it. You have already taken steps in creating your future by earning your high school diploma. And again, you've earned it. Over the past 2 years, I've gotten to know many of you during our visits at the school, at sporting events, after sporting events, and just walking around the garrison. We're small town America nestled inside a metropolitan city of 25 million people. The community is very proud of you all, and very proud that you represent our unique and strong Yongsan garrison. Congratulations again on joining the ranks of the Seoul American High School alumni. The entire faculty and staff wish you the best. Thank you for your hard work and congratulations.
Now I have the honor of introducing the class of 2014 Salutatorian, but above all, a close friend of mine, Elliot Koshi. I'm pretty sure the vast majority of you know Elliot. He is your school president, the unbelievably enthusiastic guy wearing the blue afro wig at pep rallies, and a Seoul veteran who has lived here since elementary school. He has changed quite a bit in the past few years, and it is with joy that I can call him a friend with an odd but catching aptitude for humor. In the next few minutes, you'll see exactly what I mean. Please give a warm welcome to your salutatorian, Elliot Koshi.
Oh, okay, give me a minute. Whew. Okay. Good morning, esteemed faculty members, families, and guests, to the graduation of the best class in SAW's history. Woo! And Jonathan Kim. It is a great honor for me to stand here and speak in front of you as a representative of the class of 2014. Now, I'm not the most funniest of guys, and I kind of started on my speech pretty late, so if you feel the urge to fall asleep, I apologize in advance and will not be offended if you do so. I started working on my speech in true senior artist fashion, at 2 a.m. the day it was due. Being pressed for ideas, I then turned to my most sagacious, but sometimes perverse and twisted mentor, Dr. YouTube. Looking through the various graduation speech and ideas, I realized that they all had one thing in common. They all had a theme. So I decided to rack my mind and think I just threw around random graduation topics. For example, a happy speech discussing the joys of life, too cliche. A melancholic speech discussing the hardships of reality, too depressing for such a joyous occasion. A thank you speech where I occasionally roast my peers, teachers, and parents, perfect. So without further ado, here is my compilation of thank you notes I procrastinated too late to send out in person. First off, thank you, Mr. Kennedy, for trying out innovative ways to teach me US history. I'm sure that throwing all those crumpled, ball-up history quizzes at my head while I was sleeping triggered some sort of metaphysical transfer between the text and my prefrontal cortex. Thank you, Mr. Clausen, for showing the world that the fountain of youth is real. If you ever decide to share its location, I'm sure that Coach Boyd would be very grateful. Thank you, Dr. Williams, for being able to make it to our graduation. SAWS is not the same with our mentor, DJ D. Willie. Thank you, prom king Cameron Harris and queen Ashley Clement, for being that one perfect couple that everyone loved and envied. You guys make all us single people feel so great. Thank you, future US presidential nominee Denari White, for rallying the senior, for rallying the senior class officers to organize this wonderful graduation. Please don't suddenly forget me when I send in a petition demanding the curtailment of the work week down to 4 days with a 3-day weekend. Thank you, Fred Lee, for deciding to attend SAMS and SAWS in the 8th grade. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be standing here right now. Instead, I would be sitting where you are right now. Thank you, Mom. Ooh. For always telling me to do my best. And I'm sorry I didn't get that 3,000 on my SATs. College Board just wouldn't give me any extra credit. Thank you, Dad, for indirectly pushing me to talk to more girls. Our discussions about, why don't you have a girlfriend? Are you and Darren Miyoshi just friends? And finally, don't worry, son. I will love you regardless of your life decisions. Definitely have helped me. Thank you, SAWS, for giving me this prestigious honor that includes such accolades and awards as a privilege that includes an additional homework assignment and to then read it publicly in front of a crowd of 600 people. And finally, thank you again, Mom, for always giving me that essential boost of self-confidence every now and then, even if it meant lying beyond reason. Seriously, telling me that I'm the most handsome boy you've ever seen? Come on, Mom. In all seriousness, though, I think I speak on behalf of the whole senior class when I say we're grateful for our friends, teachers, and family. Our friends, our second family, and our confidants. We have created so many memories in this wonderful high school. Our teachers have not only taught us what to learn, but also how to learn. They have prepared us for academic success in the future and beyond. Our parents have always been a source of endless wisdom and advice, even when we don't want them to be. However, as we leave this chapter of our lives and enter a new one, we will see less and maybe even never of the people around us. But don't fret. As Dr. Seuss once wrote, you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on, you know, and you know what to know. And you are the ones who decide where to go. Regardless of where we are, who we're with or without, we will know what we want to do. So keep your head up high, take a deep breath, and march on forward, class of 2014. Thank you, and please give a warm round of applause for this amazing class.
Thank you, Elliot. And now, it is my absolute honor to introduce our keynote speaker for this occasion. Lieutenant General Bernard S. Champeau is a role model for us all, the graduates, in the areas of public service and education. He was born in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and received his bachelor's degree in sociology from St. Anselm College in Manchester, New Hampshire. Our speaker then went on to travel all over the world and gain a number of titles, including 8th Army Commanding General, United Nations Command, Combined Forces Command, and United States Forces Korea Chief of Staff. He and his lovely wife, Mary Susan, are blessed with 3 daughters and a son-in-law, Andrew and Caroline Batul, Emma Ann Champeau, Madeline Champeau, and granddaughters Layla Kate, Madeline Batul, and Sylvia Grace. Please join me in warmly welcoming Lieutenant General Bernard S. Champeau.
Thank you, Denaria. Wish I had half the awards and decorations you're wearing. And Elliot, you're probably getting in trouble for doing this, but I'll move it back, I promise. Elliot, you're a tough act to follow. Well, it's this is quite a forum, quite a venue, and quite an audience. It's the kind of nervous energy and the pride is really palpable, and I'm a little nervous about the people up in the nosebleed seats, but you seem to be doing well up there. Dr. and Mrs. Kirby, Dr. Allen, Dr. Ellis, General Gentry, Mary Susan, Principal Rice, and Principal Edwards, ladies and gentlemen, other distinguished guests that may be here that I failed to recognize, the proud parents of this graduating class, and most importantly, the 2014 graduating class of Seoul American High School. Good morning. It really is an honor for me to celebrate this day with you, although I was a little concerned with the recent rash of student protests over commencement speakers at some of our colleges and universities back in the United States. I was nervous right up to this morning that you would vote me out of your graduation. So I'm relieved, grateful, and excited to join you, and I want to thank you. And I know some of you are now thinking, we could have protested? It's too late. Well, Colonel Masley said 1985, it was over 40 years ago, 42 years to be exact, that I was sitting in your seat during my own high school graduation. I recall some excitement, and relief that high school is over. I knew there was a lot I would miss, but anxious to get started with a promising look to the future. And amidst all the pomps and circumstance, I distinctly remember how very proud my parents were. What I don't remember is a single speech spoken that day. So after a late last night celebrating the Army's 239th birthday, some of you may know that's 1 year older than our country. I was up early this morning to review the long speech someone had graciously prepared for me on my staff, and it caused me to reflect on my high school graduation experience. So my personal gift to the Seoul American High School graduating class of 214, I shredded that speech. I also, in my haste to put my uniform on and glee of shredding it, I shredded one of the pages of my handwritten speech. Although I live a full life, I apparently do these things to keep it interesting. So if you bear with me, I'd like to share just a few thoughts with you in the next few minutes and then let you purposely get on with your exciting future. Although I don't know most of you personally, I do know many of your parents. I'm also an Army brat and the product of a few DoDEA schools in my time, as were our 3 daughters. Because Seoul American High School physically sits in the heart of the Yongsan garrison, the community at large is witness to a lot of your activity. Your movement to and from school and lunch, the boundless energy on the outdoor sports fields is a young, vibrant heartbeat to the daily rhythm of our military community. You can't transit from main post to south post weekdays without witnessing the ebb and flow of the Seoul American High School as a backdrop. You colorfully bring the sense of American community in the middle of the hustle and bustle of one of the largest and most densely populated metropolitan areas in the world. Seoul is 3 times more dense than New York City. You also help remind me of who you are and why you are here. And I won't talk to you this morning about the importance of the Republic of Korea-United States alliance, although I could. And this magnificent venue reminds us of how critical that alliance has been to both the United States and to the Republic of Korea. What's very important about why you are here is really mostly about who you are. Most of you are here because one or both of your parents are wearing the military cloth of our nation. Selfless servants who have stepped forward, some time and again, and simply said, "Send me." Not for fame or reward, not for place or for rank, not lured by ambition, nor goaded by necessity, but in simple obedience to duty. Around the world, in and out of combat, a life of self-denial and sacrifice in response to the call to duty, and with it, the nobility and honor of service. Some young, others old, older. Some have literally spent their youth in service to our country. And with it, you, a compelling component of what it takes to serve. Your love, support, and although at times difficult, your understanding. And I hope by now in your young adult life, some measure of appreciation. It's really probably too much to consume in one commencement address, although your journey at times was tough, affected by the heartache of separations, and with it missed birthdays and skinned knees, the first lost tooth, missed recitals and plays, absent on the sidelines and not in the bleachers, missed nightly prayers, the hugs and gentle encouragement when everything seems impossibly hard, not there to help unravel life's mysteries like how much water is in the ocean anyway, Daddy. Holidays with the empty seat at the table, the lack of presence that makes the family whole. That's tough. Some may ask, why reflect on that? There's a quote, "A journey without challenge has no meaning, and one without purpose has no soul." I believe you're special. Although your journey at times has been difficult, it's a special journey not afforded most Americans. The people around you are special. Your parents, the parents of your friends, whether in the military, supporting the military, in the foreign service, or friends in and around Seoul. They are special, as are the teachers and staff at Seoul American High School who care deeply about you. So I just want to thank you for who you are. Hope your journey has left you positive about yourself and optimistic about your future, and hope you have the guts to do something about it, to make good decisions, not necessarily perfect decisions, to keep your nose clean, to be willing to stand up for what you believe, to have the courage to help others. This community is very proud of you. Congratulations to you and your parents. God bless you.
General Shampo, thank you so much for accepting the invitation to speak at our graduation today. Also, thank you for your words of wisdom. Please accept this small token of our gratitude and appreciation. And now, please welcome our class recording secretary, Christine Lee, and Jason Lee, corresponding secretary for the teacher-parent recognition.
Excuse me, the show choir will be coming up next, first, and thank you.
coming through from my like a wind off the sea. By a wind off the sea. Like a seed dropped by like a seed dropped by a bird in the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better.
And now, I have the honor of introducing this year's valedictorian. For those of you who may not know Fred Lee, he is the president of NHS, the school-renowned math whiz, and that guy who won all the scholarships during the SCA Awards last week. I have seen him grown both academically and socially during these 4 years together, and all I can say is, thank goodness he finally got a haircut. Please join me in a round of applause for this year's valedictorian, the epitome of academic success, and my close friend, Fred Lee.
Good morning, faculty, distinguished guests, family, friends, parents, and the class of 2014. I remember my first impression of graduation 4 years ago. I was playing Pomp and Circumstance with the band, and I was watching the towering seniors come by with their large caps and flowering gowns. Honestly, I thought it was a poor imitation of the Hogwarts School of Magic. Many were laughing, some were crying, but the vast majority was focusing on popping the balloons as they fell down. I like popping the balloons, but other than that, I never really understood the fuss about graduation. I thought of it was a very strange ceremony. Now, 3 more graduation ceremonies later, and approximately 1,379 days from our first day of high school, here we are. It is finally our turn, and looking at this hall filled with my classmates donning their caps and gowns, the only thing I can say is this: wow, they forgot the balloons this year. Class of 2014, some things in life will never change, but we are biologically hardwired to recognize change in ourselves, in our environment, and in others. I noticed that Elliot noticed the haircut. More often than not, we neglect the constants in life and take them for granted. At this time, I would like to thank these constants. Our families and friends sitting among us in the audience here today. Mom and Dad, Oma and Appa, thank you so much for your unconditional Christ-like love. Without it, I'll not be the person I am today. One of the earliest assignments, and quite possibly my first assignment of high school, was a worksheet asking, what are the 7 traits of life? Well, I didn't know, but I was informed by the highly esteemed and popular Professor Google and his unpaid intern, Mr. Wikipedia, that the 7 traits are homeostasis, adaptation, reproduction, response to stimuli, metabolism, organization, and growth. But Fred, that question does not reflect the rigor of Seoul American higher order thinking. My apologies, my extremely sarcastic friend. Joe, I'm looking at you. Let me reword it to a more fitting state. Name the 7 characteristics required of life and explain their significance to what it means to be and how they illuminate the definition of life as a whole. Such an intricate and convoluted question demands an equally intricate and convoluted answer. In classic Seoul American class of 2014 senioritis fashion, here is our answer. get a life. Enlightening, isn't it? Class of 2014, it is time to get a life. What does this exactly mean? Well, let's remember the 7 traits of life. Homeostasis, keep a stable internal environment. Keep an eye out for your constants, your friends and family. They're the ones that matter the most. Keep in touch. The transition from high school to the world beyond is extremely taxing, and stability is absolutely required to keep our sanity and this community we have formed here. Work hard, but play harder. Have fun. Life is a balancing act. Adaptation. Many of us have moved several times in the past few years. Some of us have never moved at all in the past decade. No matter the case, we must learn to adapt. In the years to come, prepare to be disoriented at college orientation and learn to be flexible with changing circumstances. Reproduction. This is self-explanatory, folks. Always find time for your family, and right now, especially our parents, our moms and dads. Without them, we would not be here today. I've only seen one stork in my life, and it sure was not holding a baby. If it was, please call the local authorities. Response to stimuli. Stay on watch for new opportunities and make the most out of everyone. More often than not, we know the best decision for ourselves. However, this decision we often put off to tomorrow, and then the next day, and then deadline day. Take action, not for yourself, but as the you wish to be. Make experiences, create, and discover. Our life is remembered through these experiences, not the monotone doldrums of routines. Sorry, this hat feels like it's falling off. Metabolism. If you're hungry, please eat. If you're thirsty, take a drink. Otherwise, you're most likely not going to be among the living for too long. Watch out for freshman 15, though, in college. Organization. Manage your time wisely. A deadline is not just another date on the calendar. Don't procrastinate, which I unfortunately admit to doing for this speech. As I said earlier, some things in life never change. And last but not least, grow. Always push yourself outside of your comfort zone. This used to mean that dreaded 15-page iSearch paper from Mr. Clausen, or the research paper from Dr. Williams, speaking in front of a crowd, or walking on the glass floor at the Space Needle, plagued with the fear of heights. We are all works in progress, and we are far from reaching our full capacity. In fact, the journey to reaching that capacity, that is the journey of life. From a prospective outlook, many goals seem impossible, but retrospectively, many will become simple tasks as well. Many challenges are not as difficult as they first appear. Never stop growing, never stop living. My fellow classmates, it is time to get a life. Find it, live it, and treasure it. It is now our time to inherit this world. With this, I give these final words. Bye-bye, farewell, and congratulations, class of 2014.
Thank you, Fred. Again, please welcome our class recording secretary, Christine Lee, and Jason Lee, corresponding secretary, for the teacher-parent recognition.
First and foremost, I would like to recognize a mentor, friend, and inspiration for many, Mrs. Irene Lee. After a long and emotionally filled struggle, Mrs. Lee passed away in the fall of last year. She'll forever be remembered as a mother of saws. May we have a moment of silence?
Before I begin my speech, I would like to say thank you to Denari White for giving me a heart attack. When she called out my name at the time when the choir was supposed to come out, I thought I got the wrong program. All right. Well, there are people here who have greatly influenced and supported us through our years at this high school. They are, of course, the teachers.
They have always been there, teaching us lessons concerning a wide variety of subjects. From history to government, or from algebra to calculus, they have always been there, teaching us and guiding us throughout the courses.
In classes, when we have questions present, they are there to answer. When we don't want work or assignments, they are there to give us them. When we wish to text and take pictures in class, they are there to take away our phones and send them to the office. But why do they do this?
They don't do it because they're uptight. They do it because they wish to see us succeed in our education and in our lives. And look at us now. We're all about to graduate from this high school and start a new beginning.
We are thankful to all the teachers of the school. However, there's one teacher I would like everyone in this theater to recognize. Without her, this graduation, the senior activities that we seniors enjoyed, and us being here today would not have been possible. Would Miss June Wilkins please come to the stage? For those of you who do not know what this is, it's a megaphone, because she likes to yell a lot.
Now, would all the teachers here please stand from their seats? Let us, the Seoul American High School class of 2014, along with all the parents, friends, and family members, give you all the recognition you deserve for leading us here.
Would the teachers please rise?
Now, to our loving parents, time flew by so fast throughout our 4 years in high school. We will head off into the real world now. It's so hard to believe that we have to say goodbye to you, but before we do, we want you to know.
Thank you for investing in us, financially, emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. In every way that one can pour oneself into another person, you have devoted yourself to us. You knew from the start that we would not be able to return the love that you have for us, yet your compassion for us still runs deep, surpassing time, age, and wrongdoings.
Thank you for guiding us, training us, and shaping us in the way that we should go. Your seeds of encouragement have been planted and have already begun to grow. At this time, we want to thank 3 special parents who have helped us prepare for this special day. When I call your name, please stand and remain standing. Mrs. Amy Turner, Mrs. Nikki Maxwell, and Mrs. Stephanie White, please stand.
As we close this door and open another, we want to thank you for your sacrifices, discipline, and love.
So on behalf of the senior class of 2014, we would like to say thank you to all the amazing parents.
Now, could we please welcome Ms. Linda Edwards, Assistant Principal of Seoul American High School, for the presentation of diplomas.
Good morning. I'm proud to announce that after careful review of the transcripts and grade records, these young people before you have met the criteria as outlined by Advanced Ed, the nation's largest accreditation agency. Furthermore, they either meet or exceed the standards for graduation as prescribed by the Department of Defense school system. I further attest that all information is correct and recorded on official school transcripts. Ms. Rice, you may now present the diplomas. Cameron Itoro. Sydney Allen. Janaid Amos. Henry Arnold. Malenbert Badiola. Joseph Bailey. Patria Bailey. Daniel Bain. Joachim Balanon. Mariah Bachman. Tashana Brabard. Darian Briggs. Zuri Cabbage Stalk. Alexander Carter. Alan Choi. Jeannie Choi. Sung Young Choi. Hannah Chong. Michaela Claire Pittman. Andrew Clark. Cameron Clark. Ashley Clement. Angelica Coleman. Brianna Coleman. Dominique Conley. Vance Crabtree. Sarita DeFrancisco. Langston Dillard Smith. Derek Forcobb. Devin Ferner. Mary Jo Galbraith. Dai Gong. Regina Ganzina. Tyrell Blanton. Jenny Hahn. Morgan Hanlon. Maximilian Hansen. Cameron Harris. Nathan Harris. Julia Heisler Plummer. Carl Henderson. Josie Emery. David Irwin. Lauren Jackson. Jisoo Jung. Daniel G. Christina Johnson. Taisha Jones. Allison Kamai. Minhee Kong. Kathy Kim. Daniel Kim. David Kim. Iju Kim. Heather Kim. It's okay. Jane Kim. Jonathan Kim. Thomas Kim. Sarah Coe. Joshua Labrie. Amber Laverne. Marissa Lawrence. Angel Lee. Deborah Lee. Alexander Lyos. James Mancinas. Ian Maxwell. Joseph McMahon. Marie Mendez. Ronald Midomaru. Jennifer Mills. Benjamin Mitchell. Charles Mitchell. Aaron Miyagi. Simon Mays. Catherine Morris. Sarah Knapsey. Michael Nevereth. Simon Nutter. John O. Minu O. Kevin Orta. Jordan Pagan. Jacob Park. Laosha Quates. Monice Regis. Julia Ring. Jesus Ruiz. Eric Russell. Alexis Savoy. Kirsten Schluter. Caitlin Scott. Dylan Segrist. John Stoll. Louis Swafford. Jordan Tulick. Deja Tull. Tia Tamaliwan. Elizabeth Turner. Emily Turner. Richard Velarde. Michael Warner. Mi Young Wimkin. Caitlin Wilnow. Jung Ye. Erica Yang. Laura Yum. Aaron Yoder. John Jin. Elliot Koshi. Christine Lee. Frederick Lee. Jason Lee. David Park. Denari White.
High school graduation is a very significant rite of passage that brings a group of seniors together for special acknowledgement and public presentation. I'd like to thank all of our parents, family members, community members, command for joining us this morning. Your presence honors our ceremony. It is with a bit of sadness but much excitement for you seniors that we bid you farewell. I hope that we will see each other again. Senior classes vary from year to year. Your senior class is a memorable group. You have remained focused on your academics with only a bit of prodding, have been role models in many ways to the underclassmen, have been very well-mannered, have contained the dreaded disease senioritis quite well, and have delighted your teachers, Ms. Edwards and me, with many instances and moments of laughter. If the graduating class of SAWS is an accurate representation of all the senior classes of 2014, then our country is in very good hands. It is now time to publicly award you seniors for finishing a race. Notice that I said a race and not the race, because this race is just the first of many in which you will compete. I challenge you to set goals, keep focused on the finish line, learn how to jump hurdles. If you can't spring over them, learn how to slowly climb over them. until you reach your mark. May every hurdle that you successfully jump give you the encouragement to keep going to fulfill your dreams. On the stage this morning are 115 young and spirited men and women, scholars, gifted artists and musicians, and talented athletes. We can expect to hear wonderful things about you in your future. I feel blessed to have been principal during your senior year and to watch you bloom into the fine young people that you are. I wish each of you all the best that life has to offer. I know they're saying, hurry up, Ms. Rice. This is the moment we have been waiting for. Seniors, please stand. In a few moments, all of you will begin another chapter in your lives. On behalf of the Department of Defense Education and its director, Mr. Thomas Brady, Department of Defense Dependent Schools Pacific Area and its director, Dr. Linda Curtis, and the Korea District and its superintendent, Dr. Irby Miller, and Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Judith Allen, I have reviewed and certified your official school transcripts and now have the honor and privilege to announce that you, as members of the class of 2014, are now graduates of Seoul American High School. Seniors, you may now turn your tassels.
Graduates, please be seated. Good morning. I'd like to start by thanking from the bottom of my heart the faculty and staff, all the incredible parents, and the amazing class of 2014. I can say with certainty that today would not be possible without all of you. Yes, it would be June 7th, 2014, long-awaited graduation day. But without the inspiration from my peers, the guidance from my parents, and though I never thought I'd say it, the challenges put before me by my teachers, today would not be half as special, and I wouldn't have as much to say. A projected 3 million high school seniors are graduating this year, but I count us among the luckiest. When we filled out college applications, some of the essays prompted us to explain the most memorable multicultural experiences we've had. Not everyone could answer that question with as much conviction and passion as we did, whether we talked about traveling all over the Pacific region as a school activity, locking a love note on Namsan Tower fence, or graduating at the National Museum of Korea. I know a lot of us could think of small ways our experiences at Seoul American High School might have been better, but to that, I'll tell you what my dad always says. One day you'll look back and realize that these were the good old days. You'll never eat anything as delicious as bibimbap, and you'll never hear anything as infectious as Coach Boy's laughter. Our class motto is, what lies behind us and what lies before us are small matters compared to what lies within us. I'm glad we had this quote to think about all year because I believe it captures perfectly what this occasion is all about. Today is about reflection on the past 4 years and looking ahead to what the future holds, but most importantly, looking within ourselves and at each other and seeing how far we've come. Within us is the power to instigate positive change, and I know we won't let any of that go to waste. So to parents and faculty, rest assured the future is safe in our hands. Class of 2014, remember, success is something you have to look after and be vigilant about. All of us have attributes, but the biggest obstacle of ingenuity is breaking through the barrier of disbelief. Many people have great ideas, but it's an entirely different thing to precipitate that vision into something tangible, especially when no one is doing it. But remember this, our class is anything but typical, and when you're in the world accomplishing the impossible, I hope you remember me, this community, and this moment. Lastly, My hope for you is that you are unable to look at high school as the best years of your life. Rather, I hope you see it as a place that helps propel you into the brilliant, beautiful, beneficial futures ahead of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Denari. Now, can we please stand for the retiring of the colors? Thank you. Now, can the student council come up?
Class of 2014, we made it!
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, take now, bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to be. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to be. Come on. It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news talking this and that. Yeah. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Yeah. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. Yeah. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you